Here we are on beautiful Jones Street.
You saw Ted Jones.
July 4th.
I didn't say nothing.
2 p.m. 6th annual Ted Jones World Vegan Hot Dog Eating Contest. And we're super excited for it. In studio now, Jimmy McCullough. Jimmy, how are you, buddy?
I'm good. Just got a lot going on, but I feel good, you know?
Yeah, well, you look good. Shaved for the pod?
I did. That's why I said 5:30 exactly until I was like, cool. And I was like, he hates me. I got to be there on time.
No, we said 5:30.
No, I know, I'm kidding.
So you were perfectly on time. Yeah, man, I shaved for the pod too. But you know what I had to? I got new headshots today.
Really?
You get headshots recently?
No.
I think it's something you got to do. Every time you kind of have a new look that you are confident with.
Yeah.
Because the headshots that I'm giving out to people, which you used one when I was on your show.
Yeah.
It's just like
the sunglasses.
The short hair.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is what I want to have for I think at least, I don't know how long, but the thing is, anytime I get a haircut, I'm just a buzz it off guy.
Really?
So it's weird for me. So
You
it's
don't
like every
go
6 months
halfway?
I have new. Yeah, no, I don't like going halfway.
Okay.
I just like either having it super long or I'll just buzz it.
You saw how it was like 2 weeks ago?
A little poofy. Right? Now it looks really good.
It was a little poofy.
But now you're going to keep it like this, I imagine.
I kind of want to go like halfway between this and the long.
How often do you get a cut?
I have to do like every 2 months because it gets quick. Like this mustache is only like 3 weeks old.
Oh yeah, it's thick.
And if I shave, it's back in like 3 days.
Yeah,
to the point where it's annoying, and like I can't. I don't know if I have like sensitive skin or I'm just doing it wrong. But if I use the like Gillette shave like razors, I get the rashes. I can only use the razors once.
I shaved my chest hair for the first time in my life the other day.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you have a lot?
I did. I had my shirt off in front of my dad, and you know, like you want your dad to be like, "Oh, you look good."
Yeah,
He's like, he goes, "Ted, you look good, but you got to trim that chest hair."
Really?
So I was like, "Yeah, I have scissors in my bathroom. I could have just went right in and trimmed it, but then I had the razor in the shower, and I just went, shh, and I was like, oh my god, I took a fat patch at it." Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah,
I can show these guys.
I got too much, bro. Too much everywhere. Right. Yeah.
So I kind of had the same chest hair stitch, and I went just like patch, and then I was like, "Fuck, I got to keep going." And then I went out, and I was like, I left the nipples, and then it was like 2 or 3 renditions.
Well, you can't go over the nipples with a razor. You can, but it really close. Hurts. Yeah. You gotta use
I guess you're supposed to.
Safe side.
I mean, are you supposed to shave the chest? Chicks never talk about it. Chicks only really talk about the facial hair.
My brother always said, my brother's 9 years older than me.
Okay.
And I was super self-conscious about my hair when I was a kid.
All types of hair?
No, my hair was always crazy as a kid, but like I got body hair like in one day. It was everything all at once. And I remember,
'cause you look like a pretty hairy guy.
It's everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah. Jungle Buns Jr. is what my family calls me.
Jungle Buns?
Yeah, my dad's friend called him Jungle Buns, so I'm Jungle Buns Jr. He's very hairy too. Hairy butt, yeah.
Okay.
Look at Ted putting things together.
Jungle Buns. Continue.
But I remember like I love her. No, nothing against her, but my friend Olivia, my family friend and childhood friend, I remember the first day I was like, when I had noticeably had hair and it was like summertime and we were hanging out, she was like, "Oh my God, you're so hairy," in front of the whole friend group.
Oh man.
Guys, and my guys were like, nothing.
Yeah.
But the girls were like, "You're right, he like is." But I was always so self-conscious that like one time I nared my my thighs. And do you know what nair is?
Yeah, like when it you put it on and then it just disappears.
Yeah, but it stinks.
Yeah.
I remember my mom was like, I was living in the attic at the time. She was like, "What does that smell?" I was like crying. I was like, "I don't know."
I remember that when I was like 13 and 14 years old, that because I didn't have hair on my legs or really my arms yet, that the guys at sleepaway camp, the kids at sleepaway camp were accusing me of shaving my legs and my arms. This is probably like 7th and 8th grade.
That's still early though.
Yeah, but I'd say it's a lot worse to be accused of shaving your body when you don't, it's a lot worse initially not to have any hair. And then it seems like once people hit like 20 and 25, nobody really talks about it anymore.
No, that's what I was saying with my brother. He was like, dude, like with the 9-year gap and me being in high school and worrying about that, he was like, girls do not care.
Yeah,
when you get
I remember I wanted to have hairy legs so bad.
Yeah.
And then eventually I got it and I was like, self-made. But besides that, it was just, chicks only really care about the facial hair and then hair on the head. Everything else is just kind of, nobody really talks about.
Yeah. And what I've found since being single too is I feel like, and also just with my ex and previous, I feel like all girls not every girl's gonna like you, you know, and you're not gonna like them, but like there's gonna be the one that really likes you.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just like, because especially with the hair thing, I remember I'd be like I said, I'd be so self-conscious, and then like girls would be like, oh, I love the hair. And I'm like, I spent so many years being like, I hate this. Why do I, you know, this and that.
And you just need that one compliment.
But some girls don't like hair, and that's fine. And I'm sure they got hairy ass.
There was a girl at a show here a few weeks ago, and after the show, she came up to me. She's like, I own a salon, by the way. If you ever want a haircut, I'd give it to you for free, of course. And I was like, oh my God, that was so sweet.
You did that, right?
But then I thought to myself, yeah, I did do it. But then I thought to myself, I was like, that was kind of rude.
Yeah,
you
need a haircut.
Yeah. And then I compared it to, you know, if somebody came up to me after the show, and they're like, great show. I own a deodorant store. If you ever want free deodorant.
That's worse.
Right, but at the same time, something needs to be changed. I smell bad. I look bad.
Bro, you stink.
Yeah, bro, what is that smell?
I would tell you.
Oh, spice. You would tell me?
You don't smell that.
You wouldn't tell me?
I wouldn't have to.
Yeah. I can also kind of smell myself, too. I showered today.
Even when I'm like power washing, I'm like, I stink right now.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes that'll happen. And apparently when you can smell yourself, that's when you really smell. Because if you can't really smell yourself, unless like it really gets to that point.
Yeah, because I wear long sleeves.
Oh, yeah, you got to. Do you wear like a sun hat?
I haven't had one yet, but my brother used to have a surfboard company.
Yeah.
And so now he moved back to New York and doesn't really do it anymore. So all like the stuff that wasn't sold is just in our garage.
I think you told me he like made surfboards.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
He's a cool guy. He built surfboards from scratch, like from the foam board to the epoxy.
It's almost like
glass.
an art. That's like an art piece
for sure. Yeah, and he would do, he would like watercolor and stuff, but he would do art on like a lot of.
Oh, that's dope.
And like people would like custom order them and be like, I'd love you to do this. And like, you know how it is, especially with stand up too, in the beginning, you're like, well, how the fuck do I do this?
Yeah.
But you're like, I have a little sense that I can.
Yeah. Did he go out to open mic? Upstairs. Yes. Hell no.
Does that happen once a podcast?
Yeah, at least. But that's funny. Somebody said it was down here. But so he would surf a lot in Long Island. He'd go out to Montauk, ditch planes.
So my dad was like a beach bum kind of guy. Like grew up going to ABC in Atlantic Beach.
What's ABC?
Atlantic Beach Club. I'm saying that wrong.
Where?
It's definitely
in Amagansett or something.
No, Atlantic Beach, like next to Long Beach, like South Long Island. Mm-hmm. So we grew up going to the beach club there, Silver Point, which is always all the way at the end. So yeah, my dad grew up. He was like worked at the snack bar.
Oh, sick!
He used to sleep there.
But a beach bum, meaning he like lived on the beach full year round.
No. He would work there in the summers, and my grandparents had a cabana, so he would just sleep there. But my dad, like the other day, I had like this Zin in my back pocket, and I tried to keep that stuff hidden
he
from
thought
him.
it was like a fat condom. So what, you rocking an XXXL?
Can you imagine like that? My dad just switched it down,
Jimmy,
Poppy.
Damn, bro, that's a huge condom, bro.
I didn't know my son was
Your dad is
packing
Spanish
like that. Yeah. No, he goes, what is that? Is that dip? I go, no, it's Zin. He goes, oh, that's gay. I was like, oh. But I told him about Zin.
Yeah, but he might not be off.
I think he would like it.
I think that we did go soft going though from the tobacco, legit like.
Oh, for sure.
Zin packs, you know.
Oh, but I couldn't do.
Did you ever vape?
I never bought my own. I would like hit other people's.
Yeah,
but it doesn't make me feel good.
Yeah, dude. Anything that you can charge in your computer, you shouldn't be sucking down your lungs.
Yeah.
And I also feel like people, like one of my boys actually did go from cigarettes to Zin. Cigarettes to Zin. He didn't do the tobacco, but he went, cigarettes, vape to Zin. Some people will just go straight to Zins. What's up, dude? You here for the open mic? Yes, sir. Upstairs, yeah. No. Back up those
any stairs, brother.
Yeah.
You got it.
Some new faces here. But yeah, so and then I can understand why people would. I mean, dude, they're making so many things addictive, and the companies are so much smarter than humans.
I know.
So you can just really get in there.
But what you said, like, I wasn't like a cigarette guy. Like once in a while, you see me outside. Yeah. Once in a while.
Yeah.
Sorry, mom.
Yeah,
but yeah, I kind of went
out. We're leaving that in.
I kind of went like straight to Zin.
Yeah,
it's nice. It's subtle.
And you know what? Out of all three, it's got to be the least bad for you. Out of vape, cigarettes, and Zin, it's just leaking a little bit into your gums.
Yes. Yeah. My friend James went to the dentist last week, and he's been Zinning longer than me.
Bro, yeah.
And he said he brought it up to them. And they're like, oh, we didn't notice anything.
Wow.
He's been doing it for like 2 years.
That is insane.
Yeah. I'm not going to like, and I know this, hopefully in 5 years, I don't look back at this with like, debt from Zin or something. But I really don't think it's gonna be a long-term thing. Like honestly, like after like the Montauk thing, I think I'm gonna like cut it off.
Yeah. I do want to touch on the Montauk thing, of course. But I went to the dentist the other day, and they said that having, you know how many seltzers I pound. They said that
you don't do the flavored ones, right?
Sometimes I will.
You will?
I think I'm going to stop doing the flavored ones because they say that like there's a little bit of erosion from it. Which
and
is
you do have
nuts.
a lot. You almost, I think that's like one of your things is you always have a seltzer. In your hand.
So I think I need to settle down on that. But also, it's my only thing. I can't have a seltzer.
Yeah.
Wild. And then I went in and I have to start flossing. I got a lot of things I got to do for my oral health. Do you floss?
Yeah, every day.
Yeah, people floss every day, which I didn't really know was a
it's kind of, it's like almost like a OCD
thing.
Yeah.
You have the sticks or you go
No,
wire?
I have the sticks, yeah.
Yeah. The sticks, I feel like
the wire I can't because you're getting three fingers in your mouth, and then that's worse with OCD. I'm like, oh, this is disgusting.
So July 1st, you're going to be in Montauk. You care to talk about that? Working with a very well-known brand, Bird Dogs.
Yeah,
Let's touch on it, bro.
I'm very excited. I'm like, now that it's June and July's right around the corner, I'm really getting like excited about it. So yeah, I'm going to Bird Dogs, the clothing company. It's putting me and a few guys, hopefully some girls. I love to have listen, I want some ladies there. No, for the sketches, I don't want to just be all guys, you know. But hey, if that's what it is, that's okay.
YOLO.
But yeah, so we're going to be making sketches and ads for Bird Dogs. And they're putting us up in a house in Montauk, which is just.
How'd you get the gig?
Dude, it was very flattering, because I feel like I'm on the bend of like people are just starting to reach out just for me. That's it, So they reached out to me in February, and I just got off the phone with like this guy that I know, and he was like, "Yeah, man, just stay at the social media stuff. You never know who's watching." Literally said, "You never know who's watching."
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, right." And 15 minutes after I hung up with him, it was like 8 p.m. They reached out to me. They're like, "Hey, we love your stuff. Love to have you, shoot some videos with us. Want to see if you were interested in an internship." And at first, it was supposed to be a 10-week internship in Manhattan at their office. And then I think a few people had problems with the 10-week commitment. So they're like, "All right, let's just do 4 weeks in Montauk." It's nuts. Because, I mean, we always talk about growing up Long Island in the city. It's like, yeah, being able to be put up there in a place that I like love.
Yeah, that's going to be nuts. And then also having a car, it's huge.
Yeah. But I'm going to bring my skateboard out, my surfboard out, and really try to just like decompress and like totally just
and stay there for the full month.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's going to be a great experience.
And I just want to give them my all. I don't want to worry about it.
And it's so unique because the amount of people that will just try and run out to the Hamptons for like a 3 or 4 day vacation and just spend thousands of dollars and being out there and getting paid is going to be fresh.
Crazy. Because that's what I, at first, obviously they're a great company, but I was like, I mean, any house in Montauk in July is so much money.
Yeah.
So even just a hotel for a night is like, it's like around probably $1,000.
Yeah.
My parents are like, "Oh, we're going to visit you out there."
Do you play golf?
I don't.
They've got a nice little course out there, Montauk Downs public golf course. If you get out there for the day,
I'm sure a lot of the guys that I'll be working with will. I'll go.
Yeah.
I've just my buddies from home. They always make fun of me. I have a bad shoulder, and they're like, "Oh, like I'm like." They'll be like, "Yo, we booked a tee time for 11 a.m." They're like, "Jimmy, you want to come?" Like jokingly. I'm like, "Oh, his shoulder. You messed up his shoulder."
Did you play sports growing up?
Yeah, I think it was just from playing baseball wrong and throwing every ball as hard as I could.
So you're a pitcher?
I pitched for a little bit. I was always in like the outfield or second base. I love because of Dustin Pedroia. But yeah, every time I go like this, it's gotten better since I've been working out and had like a trainer like really focus on my shoulder.
Yeah,
but it'll pop, and if I play
like out of the socket,
no, it'll just like make a sound.
Yeah,
it just not like out of the socket. I don't know what it is. Like it's the cartilage like rubbing against.
Sure.
I don't know. My trainer uses like scientific stuff.
Terms.
Like I feel great physically when I leave the place, but mentally I feel like a fucking idiot.
Sure.
Because he'll be bringing up mitochondria and the cells. And I'm like, I've just asked you how to get my arms bigger,
And where'd you go to high school again?
Floral Park Memorial.
Floral Park
FPM.
Memorial?
Yeah, public. I didn't get into any Catholic schools.
And then you went to community college for a little bit out there, right?
Yeah. So I went to Delphi in Garden City for my.
That's not a community college, is it?
No, that was my first semester.
Okay.
I graduated high school in 2020, so that was like all COVID, and I didn't want to go to school as it was. So that's why I started the power washing thing. But I ended up just going. At Delphi, it was like film classes, and it was like we would do stuff outside. We'd wear masks. We had to be like distance from each other. It just didn't feel worth the money because it felt like it was going to stay like that for like another year, which it did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then I went to Nassau Community, which was like, I think $6,000 for the whole year.
That's crazy. You know, Nothing. I feel like people your generation, your age are starting to realize that maybe college isn't fully worth it, but if you can go to somewhere like community college and get what you need to get out of it, and then save,
just get the fucking label,
$50,000 a year, and then on top of that, you're not gonna be able to pay it off until you're 45 years old or whatever it is.
Yeah, so. And like I'm not like I rarely drink. I hate like party settings. Like if I walk here on like in here on like a Saturday and it's packed, I'll like just stay outside until like it's my spot or whatever. It's just too much.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to go to school because I didn't have any interest in like that, nor did I like want to academically too. I was like, I really don't want to, I don't know what I want out of college, nor do I know what would come from it. Cause I don't think I want any of it.
What'd you end up majoring in?
I think so Nassau, I just finished with like a communications degree.
Sure.
And then I went to Sacred Heart in Connecticut, and that was strategic communications, advertising, and PR.
I went to UConn. Do you know that?
Yeah.
In Connecticut?
Yeah.
All four? All 4 years. Yeah. I played tennis there for 2 years. And then after that, I just stuck to journalism. I had like my own TV show, but at the same time, it was a great experience because it was outside of New York City. And it was good to get out. I mean, it was so different. And I still have some friends who are from there and live in Connecticut, but it was just such a different experience. So I'm happy I got out. Otherwise, I wouldn't have really spent much time outside of New York.
Yeah. I think it's like, you got to get out. Like if I have kids, man, I'm gonna be like, get the fuck out. Just not even, just for the sake of like, this is going to sound like so like typical like hackiness, but like literally have to expand your mind. Like you have to know what else is out.
Yeah.
And it's not just a small little town.
Especially the amount of time that you spend in the city too. It's just like different things going on all the time. But that's what I feel like also being in New York City. Sometimes I just don't want to go other places. Like I'll go to Florida for a little bit less than a week. I'm like, all right, I got to get back to New York, go to LA or something like that.
As soon as you have that initial, I want to get out. And then you go, and then it's a few days, and you're like, I kind of want to go back.
Yeah,
you know, it's sick, and like just. But
I wonder if people,
especially as a comic,
you could probably speak to this. If you feel like when you're back in this, when you're in the city, do you feel like you need to go home or back to Long Island to decompress?
I think now it's different. Yeah, I think as I've gotten a little bit older, especially like when I would come back to Floral Park from San Diego, I'd be like, fuck this, fuck that. Everyone here is dumb.
San Diego, you mean?
Yeah, coming home to New York.
You would think that about which place?
New York.
Okay.
Yeah, like I don't want to be here. I want to go back. But now that I'm older, and you know, I think also I wasn't doing what I wanted at that time, so I was like confused and like would blame it on the town. But everyone there is great. Like I know if I like shot a special or did anything big, everybody would show up. So like, and when I go home, everyone's so supportive and so like, yeah, just so I can't say anything bad about my hometown anymore. And it really does, with age. I can go back there and decompress and just chill because it's 30 minutes away from the city, you know? And, yeah, like, I don't know, like the past few years, I've just been very grateful that every one of my family members is alive and I can go home and talk to everybody and we're all very close. Because I don't know if I ever told you this, but in 10th grade, I got in like a really small car accident, had like 2 days later concussion symptoms and, they didn't go away. So they stayed. And so I got like 2 CAT scans, nothing. They're like, you're fine, just a concussion. Like 4 weeks later, maybe I was like, I'm having headaches every day. This is like more than just a concussion, I think. So I went in and my mom like demanded an MRI. And then from the MRI, they're like, oh, we see something in your neck. So then they did another MRI of just the neck because they were doing just the head before. So turns out I have a benign tumor on my vagal nerve. It's about like a little bit less than the size of my pinky. So I've known about that for 7 years now. But yeah, that's what made us really close, I think. Because we all showed up to the doctor's appointments together. If my brother couldn't come, my sister was coming. Sorry. But yeah, so we went all over the city. No one knew what the hell it was. They're like, we really don't know what this is. We went to Penn State. They knew what it was and they wanted to take it out. And taking it out means that I have to crack my jaw. I'd have to really learn how to speak and eat. And then we went to the Mayo Clinic in Minnesota and they knew exactly what it was. They were like, at the time I was 17, they're like, you're young, you don't need to do anything. This is like a 1 in a million thing. It's like the slowest growing tumor there is. So I just have to get, for 7 years now, I've been getting yearly scans. Yeah. So that really, 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 really like was a slap in the face. I've thought about stand up since I was like 5. Like I always stand up, Adam Sandler, Will Ferrell, anything related to those guys. Like I watched Step Brothers for the first time when I was 6. I've seen the movie 100 times. That movie has like created like who I am at like the core in a sense of just like silliness. But before that, before the accident, I was playing football. It was like the first sport I actually liked. I was like good at. Playing football, I was like, this is sick. I think I like this.
What position?
I was a D end. Yeah. All white school. Okay, yeah. I would just fuck up the kids in practice and be like, that's as far as I'm going to get. Then we played a real team. I was like, I'm okay. But yeah, so like I was playing football. I was like, all right, we were drinking all the time. Grew up next to Belmont racetracks. We'd go there and drink. That was like every weekend. So I was drinking. I was playing football. I was like, all right, I'm going to go to school. I'm going to play football at school. I'm going to drink, have fun with my buddies. And then I'll join the union. Like, good. Like at 10th grade, that was like, I'll do that, you know? And then this happened. And then it was like a huge smack in the face. Because it was like, number one, this could be cancerous. And yeah, that's really it. It was like, this could have been way worse than it is. So it was like, I could have been dead at 18 if it was a different diagnosis, you know? So that was like, yeah, just like a huge slap in the face to like really go after stand up. And I thought about it so much. And at the time, my brother was just getting into building surfboards and creating the brand, and he was into yoga and meditation. And he gave me like all these meditation apps and these books about everything happens for a reason. And just a lot of like, yeah, my sister too, she was great at the time. My parents, they all really like guided me through it, which was great. But yeah, so I did stand up when I was 17 twice. I loved it. I was
Where?
Like, the comic strip. Do you know Gladys?
No.
So Gladys is an older lady that runs the open mics there. And yeah, I did like the first open mic, and she came up to me and was like, you have something, kid. I think you have something. And then just like, you know, a bunch of nonsense. But yeah, I had to bring 4 friends, 2 drink minimum.
To the open mic?
Yeah. I was like, I made it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I did one Friday, and then I went back the next week because I was like obsessed. And then that was the last week of February before March of 2020. So I got so excited. I was like, this is it. This is what I want to do. And then COVID happened, so I was just in my head about it for a while. And then once I got to Connecticut, I was like, all right, let's do this. So I went to the Stress Factory in Bridgeport. I went to see Brian Callen. And then Vinny Brand, the owner of the club, parked behind me in his truck. And then we walked to the door together, and he like hired me by the time we walked to the door. So I was doing the sound booth every weekend. Just like, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Vinny Brand's Stress Factory Comedy Club, you know?
Sick.
Yeah, like 300 people.
I think I knew that. I think you did tell me that maybe when I was going there or something.
Yes.
You told me to say hi to him or something. Okay.
Yes.
Right.
So, yeah, so ever since like Connecticut, it's been full swing. Yeah.
Bro, that's crazy. And good for you. I mean, that's an insane story to get into stand-up comedy, but it's really great that you found it at such a young age.
Yeah. Feel very grateful for that too.
Yeah, but I mean, the amount of comics, you know, how long people have been in it, and then people, you know, get to their 40s and they're still not where they want to be.
Yeah.
The fact that you found it when you were freaking 17, 18 years old is sick.
Yeah.
So good for you. That's great. Damn, dude, that's quite the story. I don't know if I've told you. I maybe have. I ended up having my jaw broken in 3 places.
Really?
Because I had TMJ.
Okay.
I had one side of my face that was like depleting, my gum line. So
Just
the
from-
doctor, just from my face was just growing in a.
It's not like you were in stress or
direction.
something?
Nah, maybe I was, but that just stressed the shit out of me. I'll tell you that. But
it just makes it, you're just like a poster, you're like.
yeah, literally. But I had my orthodontist, who after not seeing me for 10 years just showed me that my jawline, like on one side, was just like not it wasn't even, and the only way that he was going to be able to properly fix it was if they unhinge my jaw and then bring it back to the center. There was a bunch of options with Invisalign, but he seemed to think that throughout the rest of my life it was gonna keep getting worse and worse. And you didn't really notice it if you were straight up talking to me. But if you look at pictures, you can see my smile was a little bit crooked and that things were uneven. So I ended up seeing maxillofilio, I don't know the word, pop it up right here, something like that, surgeon. And he explained what the process was going to be like. And I thought it was going to be a lot easier and just smooth sailing than it ended up being.
They'll be real with you. They'll make it the scariest way.
But even still, even the way that he did it, hey, ¿qué tal? ¿Qué tal? You look fresh today. Good to see you. Okay, so but I thought it was gonna be like 3 months and I'd be all good. But bro, like I got the surgery done. It was like 8 hours. Then the next day there was like a screw that was loose. I had to go back in. Yeah, insane. So that was like the whole transformation of my life. I was working in real estate at the time.
Oh wow.
And then this is kind of like
I didn't know that about you.
Yeah, it was kind of like a seeing the light moment, like you kind of had. I was like, all right, I got a slap in the face, but I got it later in life when I was like, 26, 27 years old. Yeah. But
you were promoting in your early 20s,
Yeah, dude,
right?
I was promoting clubs, which I've said on the podcast before, but I'd be out 5 or 6 nights a week and I'd make like a decent amount of cash, but I'd be wasted from like 12 a.m. to 3 a.m. most nights of the week. And all the time. The time. It wasn't really that healthy, but it was fun. And it's easy to get sucked into that,
but I can see it.
There's some dead ends in it. I mean, you'll go from promoting, then maybe you'd be a manager. I never made it past promoting, but you'd promote, then you'd be a manager, and then you try and open up your own spot, which, people watching and listening, opening up your own club in New York City is harder probably than opening your own bar or
probably
restaurant.
Opening your own gas station in Alabama.
Because it stays hot for whatever it is, a year.
Yeah. And it's not trendy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
the club's kind of,
it just depends.
Just fluctuate in the city?
Yeah. So I every night I was at a different place. Like there were places that wanted me to do more than one night at a specific place. And I tell them like, no, I have this deal with this guy or this manager here.
We're kind of just like head honcho of the night, just like calling all the shots.
I bring in probably like between 12 and 20 girls and it'd be myself and then like 2 of my boys at the table. We get free drinks all night, free bottles, and then we'd have our own table. And then I'd make money based on if somebody was like next to me at a table, if they started spending money and like bought a bottle on my table, I'd get a commission off of that.
Because you brought them in.
Yeah, well, I brought them in, or they just bought a bottle at my table. I'd be like, "Yo, like buy a bottle. I got all these girls here."
How old are you? Like my
I was
age?
like, yes, dude. No,
That's so
younger,
funny.
bro. I was like 19. This was between
were you
19
like kind of in
and
control
23.
of older people?
A little bit, but I was between between the ages of like 18, 19, and 23, man.
I'm 20.
It was crazy.
I'm 21.
Back before any sort of social media, so I was just running it through.
Oh my god, yeah, I didn't think
text.
about that,
dude. Yeah,
please come,
dude. Facebook messages. I'd Facebook message every single person. I'd be on the street recruiting girls.
What's that OG social media platform?
MySpace.
Yes.
I didn't really use MySpace. This was like right around the time when like Facebook was really peaking.
Yeah.
And that you'd go out, and then if you had a really sick night out, you'd have Facebook albums. So like chicks would take photos of me and be like,
yeah.
And I'd just be like with the bottle in my hand, crazy.
Your grandma's following you, your mom's following you.
Yeah,
Facebook
exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. A lot of people actually, I think that's been a new thing lately. I've been realizing a lot of people have been putting content on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've made some money on Facebook. It's just sometimes, I mean, as you know, bro, it's so hard to freaking keep up with every single app.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Even just Instagram is like exhausting.
Yeah. And then you got, you got 5 or 6 other apps that you got to post on. So if you get a big following on any one of those apps, which is great, it'll translate. So that's also the plus of having all these different apps. You know?
After the breakup, everyone was like, "Oh, bro, you're gonna get so much pussy, bro. You're gonna be swimming in it, bro."
Yeah.
Everyone from home was like, "Bro, you don't even know, bro."
This is like a few months ago. I feel like you and I talked about it.
Yeah. I was down bad, but now we're good. But yeah, after the breakup, everyone was like, I assume you're gonna get on the apps, right? I was like, no, I like what I said before. Instagram is enough. Mm-hmm. I can't go. I can't just spend time. I don't know if that's even before my ex. I couldn't do that. It just didn't feel. I don't know. My dad and mom met at a bar. My dad
but times are so different now, though.
They are. But my dad, he had the story of he either went like this to the girl because he thought it was my mom and it wasn't her, and then my mom saw him do that to the girl and got jealous, and then they started talking. So it's always I had that in my head. Yeah. So I don't know. I just it feels artificial and not. I think, and especially in New York, there's so many people and everyone's trying to date and do whatever. And that's the thing too. I don't know if I'm that guy. I've had a couple one nights lately.
The online dating person, you mean?
That, and also just doing everything. You know, I just don't know if I have like the headspace to like.
Well, the good thing is about what we just said is like all you need is freaking one app to pop off.
Yes,
that's all you need.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, if one app, in Tinder too, but if one if one app pops off, then like everything else flows through.
Yeah, especially TikTok and Instagram are kind of like brother and sister.
YouTube. You know what I mean? If people stick around and watch a 10-minute video of you, like that's some serious dedication.
Yeah,
and you have to go in and click on it. You know, Instagram is just like, oh, here it is. Yeah. TikTok, oh, here it is.
I watched Liz Glazer's whole special last night.
Okay. She was here for the open mic the other day. Did you hear that?
No, well, I think she was just running her 5.
For the Tonight Show. Which is cool.
Liz's a badass move.
Very cool. She
late night and the special in one day.
She had, for those of you who don't know, Liz Glazer. She's been on the pod before. Mm-hmm. I can't remember what episode. I'll pop it up right here for you guys. But she had a great episode. I think it was like not this past April, the April before. She came down into this basement and did her 5-minute open mic set for late night, which was happening that night. So it was just cool to see like, her exact late night set. Or maybe it wasn't the same day, but it was 2 days ago. 2 days ago, yeah. That's 5-minute open mic, and then did the late night.
Yeah, I think she said on the special she's been doing stand up for 11 years. I love that, like an 11-year-old veteran just coming into a mic.
Yeah.
For the love of the game.
Yeah, for the love of the game. And you do see that a lot in comedy where people are just around for the love of the game. Some people will become more business oriented after, but it's not like there's a wrong way to do it. You know, it's like if you want to be business oriented or you want to be, love the game oriented, do whatever you got to do.
That's a huge thing. Because I think with stand up, there's so many solids that you hear about before you go in. I think you got to push all those to the side and just make your own solids.
What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
Don't get a wife and kids. It's only going to, make your career harder to achieve or,
you're saying things that people say that you shouldn't do?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think there's all these things in the beginning, or like even in the beginning, I was like, I felt weird not having a beer in my hand because I felt,
that's funny.
And then now, 3 years later,
you feel weird having a beer.
Yeah. Yeah. Nobody drinks.
Nobody, especially here, bro.
Especially here.
It's wild. Anybody on the show, like maybe we'll see Steven DeMarco with a beer at the end of shows.
Maybe.
But like besides that, people are just outside smoking heat. Maybe they'll smoke a vape.
I love when you come out and you're like, a heater?
Everybody's out there. You, Luca, everybody.
Clock.
Yeah, but anything that really affects your performance, it does seem like this generation of comics, myself, and then your generation as well. Like people are not drinking at all.
I think it's just the sustainability thing because, if you're doing 30, 40 shows in a month, you can't have a drink in your hand every time.
Not really. Not really.
Some people do, but I can't.
Yeah, and I think a lot is to be said. I'm not talking shit about the older comics, but like the 50-year-old comics, maybe the 60-year-old comics, that was their whole day. It was kind of like they'd be writing in the morning and then they'd have shows at night. It's like now we have a lot of things, maybe not more on our plate, but we have a lot of different things on our plate. Yeah. Right? Like we have
even though they might not physically be in our plate, they're mixing around in our head.
Yeah.
Like if you're doing a lot of stand-up, you're like, fuck, I'm slacking with sketches.
Sure.
And if you're doing a lot of sketches, fuck, I'm slacking with the podcast. There's so many things you got to do.
Yeah.
Which is great, but I think that, burnout is a real thing.
Yeah, totally. But I mean, it's great for our generation of comics, though, that you, like I keep saying, that you just need one real thing to pop off. And then people will see all those other things. Like, bro, for 2.5 years, I used to do 2 vlogs a week where I would have either myself going like this or a videographer following me around. Mm-hmm. So
that's fun though.
But like hopefully, once one of these things pops off, people are gonna be like, yo, did you see that vlog Ted did 5 years ago?
Yeah.
On something random.
Yeah. I think we just, maybe with the newer generation, it's like, I think we accept it's a long run kind of marathon kind of thing. Another reason of why I'm just very like content lately is like, before I started stand up, I couldn't wait for those like driving the car with a comic or being outside after a show and smoking a cigarette with a comic or just shooting the shit with a comic or running your material by a comic. I do that every day now, and it's just like, if I told 10-year-old Jimmy that, he'd be like, hell yeah. So I always like have that in my head of like, what would I think about myself now 10 years ago? But that's the thing about New York comedy is like you progress, cause you have to, cause like with social media, there's like the comparison aspect, but like, okay, you might look at someone that has more followers than you or doing more sketches than you, and you kind of feel bad about yourself. But in New York, seeing other comics, kind of the same thing. You're like, damn, that guy's great. I suck. But when you
What's up, Nick T?
Nikki. Hi.
Nick T, come show your face.
Yeah, please give me a kiss.
Nick T, former guest on the Ted Jones World podcast.
Yes,
look at this look at this outfit you got on, man. Super Greek.
It's a Black Mamba.
You're not here for the 8?
Tonight I am.
Oh, okay, tomorrow.
What's that? How we doing?
Good Shabbos, brother.
Yeah, same to you.
Man. This guy's back.
Yeah,
this guy's back
Greece.
from Greece. Hell yeah, dog. Hell yeah. Thank you, buddy. You do too.
Nick T is the only reason I still have this mustache.
Really?
Yeah.
You told him he's got to keep it?
Every time I come in, they go, stud, dude. Stud.
Yeah, you're a stud.
Good to see you, buddy. Thanks for stopping in. Later.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, bro. Like all the little relationships I've built just from hanging around all the time.
Yeah, man.
It means the world.
It's great.
Because it's what more than that do you really need? I feel like in life, obviously money's nice, but you got a bunch of good buddies.
Yeah, people always talk about when people become successful, they're like, oh, I miss the days of grinding and the grunginess and all this stuff, and I don't know, maybe one day we'll miss it.
Yeah,
who knows?
I think it's just how it works. But yeah, dude, it's like I can't wait for that, to reflect on like even this, like
dude, it's gonna be fun
5
to
years
watch this back.
Yeah, in the basement,
yeah, dude.
But like, yeah, I really want to reach that level of, I wouldn't say fame, but just a fucking great comic. That's it, and have whatever else come from that. But I want to have money to like generally like just to be okay by myself, maybe a little summer house out east, if I can. But I really want to give money to people. Like even now when I'm power washing and making money quickly for this small time I do, I'm tipping more. I'm giving money to the homeless people when I walk by, or like my friend worked with me yesterday. I paid him way more than I needed to, just because I don't know. I've always wanted to do that.
So right now during the day job, what exactly are you power washing? Because you mentioned it a few times. You haven't really gotten into it.
So I power wash houses on Long Island. I've been doing it for 5 years, which is nuts.
Did you ever break a window doing that?
No, I don't have insurance.
Okay, so you need to make sure that you're going towards the roof.
And chances are it's like if I break something, which I have not actually, but if I ever would, I would just pay for it. Yeah. It would suck. I'd have to lose the money from the job.
How big of a difference does it make when you power wash a house?
A big difference, yeah. The J-Mac difference, baby.
Well, but but you know what I've seen also on TikTok? I'll see some of those ASMR videos where like you ever think about making videos like that?
I do, but I don't know how much I want to put into this. Because I don't know what
I agree.
I don't want to run a full power washing business. Yeah, like I don't want that to be my life. Like it's great for now because let me I could do stand up 10 months out of the year full time really, and then just kind of suffer for May and June. I'm exhausted. It's every day. I'm in this now that it's hot, dude. But it's good. I like the relationships with the customers and like putting a smile on their face and doing a good job and. Obviously walking away with some money in my pocket. But it's a fun thing. I generally do enjoy like the banter with customers, and they all know I'm a comedian. So like, I hope I don't see you next year, I'm like, yeah, me too. But yeah. And then with the car crash thing with my work truck getting totaled, it feels.
Was that totaled though?
Totaled. I found out yesterday.
But the back of it, I guess.
He took off, my mechanic took off the truck bed. Yeah. And I went to see yesterday, the whole thing, the frame was very much bent to the left. Okay. So he said that was the nail in the coffin.
Damn.
Yeah. So yeah, but if it feels like that happening, it feels like the universe is like pulling me away from like Jimmy the power washer. It's like, please, brother, like we need you to move on. Yeah. So like I'm really not mad about it. And like I've had that car for 5 years, and I've always wondered about how to sell it or when to sell it. That answered the question.
And then insurance just gives you some money for.
Yeah, they kind of lowballed me, so we got to go back to them with like invoices and receipts of things I've done to the car. Okay, which should be okay. My mechanic was like, "Yeah, that's their job to lowball you. We just got to go back at them." So as long as I break even or make like a grand or two, then I'll be happy. Nice. Or I'll be happy if I paid 19, they offered me 16. So, and I put a lot of money into it since in the past 5 years. So we'd like to get a little bit more.
What is what's like an average power washing job look like? How long does it take, and what are your goals in doing it? Just to touch on it.
My goal is to get the hell out of there as soon as possible.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, every time I'm like, fuck this. That's another thing, dude. It's like people get mad at like people walking slow on the sidewalk or people cutting them off in traffic. I get mad at hoses, like if a hose gets stuck on a corner, I'm like, you motherfucker, you're so fucking gay. Why don't you get stuck on the corner? Like it's like, I'm getting mad at things that most people will never get mad at in their life. Like the other day I was just getting showered with bleach because I was doing this tight house in Queens where there's no room. So I had to just go like this, and everything I hit the house with would just come back on me. So I was just covered in bleach. I was pissed off the whole day. But to answer your question, each job, it just looks like, I'll clean the driveway, clean the house. Maybe I'll clean the patio. I'll take out what's in between the pavers and put sand back in so it's nice and tight and no weeds come through. Sometimes I'll like seal it if people want, but that's expensive.
You know what I'll see though? In New York City, I feel like a lot of buildings do need that power wash.
A lot of people do, yeah.
But I imagine it's super hard to get to because you got to probably take a crane or window washing machine and then get right in between the windows up there.
I was thinking about that today. Literally on the way here, I looked at the apartment complex above the Whole Foods on like 14th or something.
Okay.
And I was like, wow, it's really dirty.
The Christie.
Yes. No fees.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about like, how would I clean that? Like I couldn't do that myself. You need like 4 trucks and you would need the sidewalk to be blocked off.
Do they need a cleaning?
Yeah.
Damn.
Very dirty.
I will say that, it would probably be pretty expensive. I don't know.
I would say like a whole building like that would probably be like $60,000-$70,000 just to wash.
And then including what about blocking off the street for the day?
Yeah. So that's like the stuff that's the stuff I don't even want to begin to fathom nor like go into that part of the business. I think that's too much into the business. Like what I do now is like enough where I could come here every night and like turn back into the comedian.
Yeah.
Because
that's something that's when you just start your own business and start hiring other people.
Yes. And that's another thing. It's like if I hire, then I got to get insurance for myself and insurance for that person.
Right.
And then they have to
kind of say mom and pops.
Yes. Yeah. Because bird dogs especially was kind of the first hint of like, okay, maybe we could stop this soon, Great. So as soon as I get something that I could make the same or more from stand up or media wise, doing that.
Yeah. Because I've definitely looked at buildings like that and been like, is it worth it for them? But if you're paying $70,000 and then it's going to get just as dirty again in like a year and a half or 2 years, maybe
it's a hard sell, man. Like most people understand.
For your own house, it's an easy sell, I would feel like.
Yeah. But still, some people are like very reluctant. Most people are great. Probably out of 50 jobs that I estimate for, I don't get 5 of them.
Right.
And that's kind of on me, honestly, in the sense of like, like this guy, he was like, can you come clean my pavers and clean my house, and then resand the patio and then seal it. And I quoted him like 3,200 and he was like, all right, let's just do the back half. So I was like, okay, 1,900. And he was like, the best I could do is 15. And I was just like, no. So like I walk away from stuff a lot just because I know that because I've done jobs where I took it instead of walking away, and while I'm doing it, I'm just pissed off at myself.
Yeah, bro, you got to be able to say no sometimes in this game too.
In this game, you got to be like, no, motherfucker. Yeah, you got to step back.
Well, I feel like that's gonna be good for your comedy career, man.
Power wash.
Yeah.
Put
some more hair on your chest.
Yeah, I don't need any more.
Yeah, no, you might not need any more.
But that's funny what you said about when you get a haircut, right? You go to your parents, right?
What do you mean?
Like when you get a haircut or you do something to your body, like anything, you're like, you go to them, you're like, huh?
Yeah, or my sisters, yeah.
Yes. How many sisters do you have? 2. Brothers? No? Like one sister, one brother. But my mom is a teacher in my hometown. My dad has a small business in my hometown. So I always see them after I get a haircut. And my mom's always like, oh my God, he looks so handsome.
Classic.
My dad's always like, oh, good. He always says, like, why don't you just buzz it? I'm like, no, I don't know. But the other day I went to my barber and he wasn't there, but the lady Gloria was there. So I was like, fuck it, let's just do it. And I told her I had the afro and I was like, I want to go like midway. I don't want to go all the way short, So she cut me up and then like cut the sides and then like left it bushy in the front. And I looked like a full on like TikToker. I felt like an 18-year-old. So I went home and I went to my dad's shop and I walk in, he goes, oh, what'd you do?
And you went back? I went back. That's hilarious. I was like me with shaving my chest. I left the nipples. Then I got them second time, man.
What'd you do?
Yeah. Well, I saw myself in it and I was like, what did you do? And then also night I did it, I had 3 spots and I showed the crowd all of them.
Really?
And
that's fun. That's good.
Yeah, people. People were like, you got to shave the nipples.
Yeah.
So can I leave it?
That's vulnerability right there.
Fine. Yeah, I was like, all right, cool, man. As long as I'm being vulnerable.
Yeah, I think last night you got off stage and it was like, it was JJ's show. So it was like roaring when you came out. I was like, "What? You show them your dick?"
I did show them my nipples.
You did.
I did.
Yeah.
So maybe that was part of it.
Ted's
That was
got
good.
Nipple penis. They like the penis.
Yeah,
nipple.
it looked good.
Nipple penis.
Jimmy, dude, thank you so much for coming on the pod.
course,
Before
brother.
we get out of here, man, we're gonna plug you. This should be out in about a week and a half. We got something to release this Thursday, but let us know where you're gonna be and where we can find you when you're in the Hamptons, bro.
Yes. Yes. So I'll be in Montauk for the whole month. You'll be seeing me, running around there. But until Montauk, I'll be here like 2-3 times a week. Social media, Jimmy McCullough on Instagram, Jimmy McCullough Comedy on TikTok, Jimmy's Gay on MySpace, Jimmy Loves Ted Jones on Facebook.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, for the rest of the month, I'll be here a couple times a week, stand up New York, and then I got a few shows at QED, so that should be fun.
Love it. Jimmy, thank you so much. Guys, follow this guy's journey. He's going to be doing big things in this industry. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Hell yeah.
Thank you, buddy.